Is the screen visible to you people?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in the second module, we are going to begin with a few of the HTML elements along with the styles that you can use for these HTML elements. Okay. Coming to the second module where we are going to discuss regarding how you can construct the tables in the HTML and how you can create the forms in the HTML. Okay. So introducing the table. So tables are not a new to you all, right? So you might be using the tables for the one or the other purpose, right? So you might be seeing it every day for the one or the other purpose. The best example for that is the timetable that you might have with you, right? So the timetable which is given to you is in the form of the table itself. So everything whichever makes it easy for the readable can be constructed in the tables if it is feasible for you people. Right. So then how to create the tables in the HTML? A table in the HTML is created using the table element. The name of the element that is required for creating the table is the table element included within the angle brackets. So the few examples why you require to create the tables is they can be used for creating the calendars, the financial data, the lists, many things. Right. Then what can be the content of the table? So there is no such restriction that what should be the content of the table. It can be simple text, it can be the links, it can be the even images, it can be even other tables as well. So whatever you want to include into the cell of the table, you can include it depending upon the structure of the table. So here are the few examples to tell you the what are the how you in what way or what can be the structure of the tables that you are going to create here. So these all are the tables that has been created by applying these styles. So right now first we will concentrate on only how to create the simple tables, and later on we'll get into know what can be the styles that can be used for to apply the tables over here, right? So you can see the tables, various different kinds of tables that has been created here. Okay. So just tell me, what do you require in order to create a table? What kind of or how do you define a table structure over here? So consider this simple example of a calendar over here. So what is the structure or what are the elements that you can consider here for creating the table?
Rows and columns.
Yes, very good. Rows and columns. So you are going to create the tables in terms of the rows and columns. And do remember that when you are going to create a table in the HTML, the entry to the table is always done row wise, not the column wise. Always row wise, coming to the columns to the each row over there. Okay. So let's see the what are the different elements that are used for creating the tables here. So as I told you, in order to begin with the table, you have to start with the table element, and within that table you are going to use the tr as a element in order to create the each row. So as I told you that the tables are created with a row wise, the entries are done with a row wise. So the each row is represented with the tr. For example, if you are going to begin with the table with the first row, even it is a heading also, it has to begin with the tr element. And and whatever the element it may be, every element that is going to have the closing element as well. So the first row you are going to begin with the tr, and once the all the entries of the first rows has been done, it has to end with the closing tr. Okay. So the next element is a td, which is used to enter the value into the each cell. When I say it is a cell, it may be the first element to the first row and the first column, first row and the second column, first row and the third column, and so on. So no matter how many elements you want, you can enter into it. To add the contents to the each cell, you are going to use the td element here. Okay. So as I told you, every element, either it may be table, tr, td, so everything has the respective closing elements. So one of the simplest example is given here. So to one table which you are going to create, so that has to begin with the table element. Follow to that it should be the tr to make it as the first row of the table element. So the first tr represents the first row over here. So begin with the tr element, and if you want to make the entry within that tr, that has to be done with the td element. So write the text or include the whatever you want to include into that cell and close that TD immediately there itself, and same TR has to be closed respectively if that particular row has been completed over there. So once you feel that every entry, all the entries to that table has been completed, you have to close it with the table element over there. Okay, so this is how it is being created. So you can see here, this is a structure that has been demonstrated here. For the simplicity, what we have the two rows, and how many columns we have the five columns over here, right? So each of them have the some text within that. So how to begin that? First concentrate with this table itself, you'll get to know. So you have to entire table, to begin with the entire table, you need to start with the table content here, sorry, table element here, table, right? So then immediately to that, as I told you, that even if it is going to be the heading or the simple content, it has to begin with the row entry itself. So the row needs to be created with the tr element here. So begin with the tr element. Next you need to add the content to that, which is done with the td element. So separate td element has to be taken for the each of the cell content here. So if you use the one td element, it is going to create the one cell within that row. So if you are going to take the another TD element, it is going to create the next element and next content to be added to that first row itself. So the third TD element to the third content to that first row. Similarly, 4 TD and 5 TD. So the number of TDs is going to tell you that how many entries that you are going to make to that TR. See, once you have completed all these entries, you need to close the TR here itself. Right. So similarly, if you want to create the one more row with a few entries, go for doing that. Again, go for creating, taking the one more tr element followed by the as many tgs as you want, close it, right? Suppose if you do not take the same number of the tds as compared to the first row tds, so at that time you may end up with the unstructured table over there. The structure of the table might be in very disorder. So in that case, make sure that if you want to make a perfect table with the same number of the rows and the columns, you need to take the same number of the tds with the each rows. Suppose there is some spanning with the sum of the cells, we'll discuss it later that how you can do the row spanning and the column spanning, which has the separate elements for that. Okay, but for a simple table, make sure that you take the same number of the tds for the each row, that is for the each tr element, to make it a perfect table over there, right? So we'll see with this example, the same structure what has been demonstrated here with the table, how it has been created here. Okay. So begin with the table element. Everything has to be included in the HTML. So if the HTML basic elements has been not included here, it doesn't mean that you should leave it. By default, all the HTML basic elements, head, body, section, right? So everything's to be included in order to create an HTML page. So where the table has to be included is in the body section. You want to make it as a part of the content of the HTML page, for which you have to take this entire thing into the body section. Right. So begin with the table element followed by the tr, right? So the first row. So you can see how many values are there in the first row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So 5 TDs has to be taken. And once you begin with the TD, type the text that you want to include for this cell. And once you have completely added that content, close that TD immediately there itself. So this TD, once you have opened, so after adding the content, after that immediately that respective TD has to be closed here. So similarly, go for the next value, that is this one. As I told you, the entry is with the row wise, not with the column wise. So row wise, the first value to the first row, the second value to the first row, maybe to the next column over here, but the entry is considered with the row wise only. First element, second element, third element, fourth element, and fifth element. Okay. So yeah, the number of TDs is going to represent you the how many contents that you want to add here. So the second TD is going to tell you the this content to be added. Immediately you are going to close it here itself. So here 1917, 1903, you can see this value. So take one more TD, after adding, close it. So again for this 162, take one more TD and close it. So 128, take one more TD and close it. Right. So once you feel, or once you end up with adding all the contents to the first row, you can see here this TR has been opened here. So once you add the all the contents to that first row, after that you have to close that tr here. Okay, so if you have the some more rows to be added, you need to take the separate tr for the each row. So you can see here in this table you have the one more row to be included, for which you need to take the one more tr here. Okay, so tr followed by the now how many tds you have to take, the number of elements. In this case there are the 5 elements to be included to this row as well, so for which you should have the 5 tds along with the respective closing td elements here. Okay, so the content should be the text whatever you want to include here. And once you have added all the elements, you have to close that tr here. Okay, so once you feel or once you end up with the all the rows that you want to create, the at the last you have to close the table element. Okay, so you can see the what will be the output for this example here. You can see here the table is in this form, right? So you don't have the any lines over here. Instead you just have the all the contents included in the tabular form here, instead of including it with the proper borders. Why is that so? Because you have not used the any attributes with the table element to tell that what kind of the border, or whether you have to include the border or not. So if you want the proper lines to be included exactly in this way, how it has created the tables here in this way, so the attribute that is required here is border is equal to border. So I'll show you with an example. So the border attributes needs to be included in order to give a proper lines to make it as a proper structure of the table here. Okay, so right now you just concentrate on the what are the different elements required here. Do not get confused here. So it has to begin with the table element, then followed by the tr element. So do not ever forget these elements which are required in order to create the element. So once you have started with the tr element, for before closing that tr, make sure that you use the all the tds for which you want to include the text for that respective row over there, right? So once you have entered all the elements of that first row, close that tr and then go for starting with the next tr to start with the new row, right? So complete again all the contents using the respective tds and follow to that close the respective tr, right? So once you end up with adding all the rows to the table, then you close the table element. So is everyone clear with at least these 4 elements here: table element, tr element, td element? Is everyone clear with at least these things?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so here is a one more example you can see here. Just a minute. Okay, so here is a one more table that has been given here. So you can see along with the elements that you want to include, you have this something known as a heading for the each column here. So this is the obvious thing that you might expect to do with the any table, right? So you might be having the column heading as well as you might be having the row heading as well. So to make it appear as a heading, you want to make it appear as a bold, isn't it? So the text which you want to make it appear as a heading, it should appear as a bold, so which is not done with the td element. So if you take the td element, the text is going to be displayed with the normal font size and the normal bold over there, right? So if you want to make it as a bolder, which has to define it as a heading, in that case you have to go for using the th element. So no matter whether it is a row heading or a column heading, so whichever the text you want to make it to appear as a heading, for that you have to take it as a th element. Okay, so you can see here, so begin with the table element followed by the row element. So within that this row, you know that all the contents of this row are the headings of their respective columns, so that you can take these elements with the th here, right? So what is the difference between the th and td is, with the th and td you can include the text, but the difference is going to with its boldness, right? So the text that you have included with the th element is going to appear as a bolder as compared to the td element. So whichever you want to make it as a heading, so that cell you define it with only the th element, right? So in this case you can see tr, so you want to make this title as a heading, so you define that element with a th, right? So similarly, artist should be the heading. Again, you create this with a th element. So year being the heading, again you take it as a th element. Width being a heading, and again you take it as a th, and similarly height also th, right? So close this tr here, right? So next go for the next tr to make the entries of the next row here, right? So but these are not the headings, they are the normal text over there, which can be created using the td elements as we did in the earlier case as well. Okay. So similarly for the next tr, again use all these contents to be added using td, because why? Because they are the again the normal text over here, right? So here you can see the table creation here, table tr, correct? So start with the tr, and all the elements of this tr are the headings over here. You can see the column headings over here, right? So you want to make them appear as a bold, so create them with the respective th element. So open the th element, type the text, close the th element, again open th, type the text, close the th element. So how many you want to create, you can take with respective th elements over there. So once you have added all the elements of the first row, close that tr here, right? So as usual, again when you start with the next tr, make sure that you define them with the tr element. So followed by the all tds if the text to be included is a normal text over there. Again, if you want to make it as appear as a boulder, you can go for using the th. There is no such restriction. But always it would be better if you define the text or the elements to be as a bold. So make sure that those are the headings only to make it as a proper tabular structure. So the within the table, the heading should be the bold, but the rest of the content should be as a normal text over there. Okay. So followed by the as many trs and the as many tds. So depending upon the how many rows you want to create for the table and how many elements you want to add over there. Okay. So again you can see the execution of this example is has been shown over here. So you can see this title, artist, year, width and height, all these are appearing as a bold as compared to the rest of the text here, right? So again you don't have the any lines for the table over here. Why? Because still we have not used the any border attribute here. Okay. So is everyone clear with the th element now? This example has been demonstrated only to make you understand what is the difference between the th element and the td, right? So either the th or td both has to be used within the tr elements only. Okay. So is everyone clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So why the table headings are required? So browser tends to make the content with the th element as a bold to make it appear differently, and th element for the accessibility, right? So once you see the table, you'll be probably the reader or the user will be able to identify the what is the content of the table and what has been used, and it is more readable if you make some headings for the tables. Okay. So provides some semantic information about the row being a row of a header. So it is just to tell you the semantic meanings of the contents of the rows as well as the columns if you create with some headings over there. Okay. Coming to the spanning, as I told you, so if you want to make it as a proper structure of a table without using the spanning, make sure that the all the elements of the each row needs to be equal, as in this case. So the number of elements in the each rows needs to be equal. Suppose in case if you have the any spannings to be used as shown in this example here, so in that case you have the separate attributes used for that, right? So first concentrate here this table, you can see here this table, right? So what do you have in the first row? In the first row you can see here how many elements you have. You have the 4 elements there, right? But in the second and the third row you have the 5 elements. Why? Because you want to split this first last column of the first row into the 2 cells for the next of the 2 rows here, right? So how can be done? So it can be done using the column span attribute, and the if you want to merge the any of the rows cells there, you can go for using the row span, right? So do concentrate on this concept, because though the table concept is very important and the definite program is going to be asked on this, the program is not going to be only simple with the table tr td elements. So the table will be asked with the usage of this column span and the row span. So if the question has to be framed on this concept, definitely a question is going to be with the row span and the column span concept itself. So for which you should understand where you need to use the column span and what happens if you use the column span, and where you need to use the row span and what happens if you use the row span, right? So as in this case you can see here, so the last element of the first row. So what you want to merge here, you want to merge it as a row wise, or you are merging the two columns over here? You are merging the two columns, right? So this thing should be very clear to you people before you use the column span and the row span. Because if you wrongly use these things, your table may not be structured the way you want. Okay. So my question to you people is how, whether the merge column spanning has been sorry, merging of the columns has been done or the row has been done over here to this last cell. Sorry,
Column.
columns, right? So how many columns has been merged over here? Two columns.
Two columns.
Right. So whenever you are creating this particular content, either it might be using the TD or TH, doesn't matter. So whichever the element that you are using for creating this content, at that time you have to use the attribute known as the column span, if in case if you want to merge the columns here, right? So the value to this attribute needs to be the number of the columns that you are merging here. So in this case you are merging the two columns here, for which you can see this has been created as a heading using the th, and to this th element itself you are going to use the column span attribute with the value 2. Why 2? Because you are merging the two cells here. Okay, so you can see here in this example, so start with the table, start with the tr. So first cell you don't have the any merging, so you don't have anything, it is a simple heading cell for which you are going to use the th followed by the text and close that th. And the next again as with the same case, so simple heading text th followed by the th, and for the third also th here followed by the th. But in this last cell you want to merge the two cells, so make sure you use the column span or the row span attribute to only that th or td wherever you want to do that. So for that, first concentrate in the table where you need to do that. So if it has been asked in your examination, probably in the most of the cases the table will be given itself, or else the how the table needs to be structured might be given in a textual question, for which you need to first draw the table and then you need to write the program. Do not directly start writing the program. Instead, first you draw it and make a visualization of how the table should appear. So after that you go for writing the program over there, right? So the visualization of the table makes you very clear that how you need to create and where you need to use the row span and the column span attributes, right? So now by seeing this table, you know that at the last cell of the first row, you want to merge the two contents with respect to the next two rows, right? So that is done over here. You can see here th followed by in space column span is equal to 2 in double quotation to tell that how many cells needs to be merged here, right? So the next one is the content of that cell and close that th and close that tier. So this entire first row has been created, right? So once you have used the row span or column span to any particular row over there, so it's not like that you need to repeat it for the next. If you go for repeating, everything will be merged over here, right? So the next row is going to be followed as it is how you did for the earlier, right? So use the another tr, add all these contents with the tds as they are the normal text, close that tr, and again go for using the another tr and add all the contents to the list and close this tr and close the table over here. Okay, so is everyone clear? So it is with respect to the column span. So I'll show you with an example how you need to use the row span as well. Okay, so let's see the few examples. Okay, so this is a simple example. Before I show you what has been done here, first I'll execute and show you this program. Okay, I think you are able to see this web page here. So where it contains a simple table which has the 3 rows and the 2 columns, right? So you can see the heading of the columns is number and character, whereas the contents are the 1A and the 2B over here. Are you able to see this? You can see here. So all the cells has been included using the some lines. The border has been put to make it appear as a table over here. Okay. Yes, you can see how it has been created here. So start with the HTML body and heading as a table. So you can see here. So the table has been created. You can see the border attribute has been used with the border value here. So what else values you can take, how you can fix the widthness of the border, we'll see it in the further examples. But right now for simplicity, just to include the border. So and take the border as an attribute within the table element. So this attribute has to be used within the table element with the value border here. Okay. So follow to that, you can see the first row has the headings as the number and the character. So the first row begin with the TR. Since they are the headings, use the TH element for the each text here. That is TH number, close the TH, and again take the one more TH character, close that TH, and if the first row is completed, close the TR, right? So followed to that next row TD, the values are simply 1A and 2B, so they are just random values taken here, right? So they are the normal text to be included, for which you have to use the separate TDs for the each text here. So TD1, close that TD, add the content, close that TD, and if the all the elements has been added for that respective row, so close that TR, right? So to make the one more row, take the one more TR, add the values with the respective TDs, and close that TR, right? So earlier what we have seen, there were the 2 rows, right? So if you want to include the one more row, so take the one more TR, take the TDs here to add the content. Right. So you have to close that respective row over there. Right. So I'll just show you what happens if you are not going to use this attribute here. If you are not going to use this attribute, so it is going to simply take the contents in a tabular form without the borders over there. You can see here, since I have removed the border attribute from that table element, so the lines to make it as a tabular structure has been removed. Instead, the contents has been added only in a tabular form. Right. So I have added the one more row to that by taking the 3 and C as a values over there. So this is a simple table just to demonstrate you that how you can use the table element, TR element, TD element, and the TH elements. So is everyone clear with only this example? Is
Yes.
okay. Okay, so are you able to see this table? Are you able
Yes,
to?
ma'am.
Okay, so you can see here the difference in the table contents here. So we don't have the any contents over here, and in the first row you can see here the element average, which is merged with the 2 columns here, and followed to that again you have the red eyes as a content which is merged with the 2 row cells here. So for this you need to analyze where you need to use the column span and the row span attributes. Okay. So how to do that? Can anyone tell me how we can do this? Can anyone tell me? So at least draw this table, because right now I'm showing you the execution here. When I show you the programming part, again I need to switch it to the Chrome table. Again I need to stop sharing the program part, right? So for that I just want you to write down this table quickly, so that we can see how exactly the row span and the column span attributes has been used here. So just tell me how to start with. Begin with the table, and for the first TR to the first cell. So what needs to be done to this first cell here? We don't have the any contents, isn't it? What needs to be done? Can anyone tell me? We don't have the any contents, but what we have the empty cell over here. But this empty cell, what characteristic does it have? It has
None.
the two rows, right? So you can see here to the next cell, it has been merged with the two rows here. That means which attribute needs to be used here? Which attribute needs to be used here? Row span, right? So row span with the value 2. Why? Because see, you can see to the next cell there are the two rows which is not visible over here. That means the merging has been done with respect to the two rows here, right? So it has to be used with the two rows. I'll show you the program, but right now I am explaining you with this figure here. Correct. So the next element th, this average has to be defined. But to this average, one thing you can again concentrate here, it has been merged with the again two column cells here, isn't it? That means column span attribute to be used with this th here. So the column span attribute has to be used with this th with the value 2. Correct. So again the next th has the value as a red eyes, but the again it has been merged with the two row cells, for which the row span attribute has to be used with the value 2 here. Right. So once you do with this first thing, so the rest of the things are very easy. Next, again for the next tr, just go on adding these two headings with the th elements. Okay, so I'll show you with an example here. So try to remember this table. You can see here the first cell of the that element was empty, right? So tr, begin with the tr. So you don't have the any content here, but you have the empty, but that has to be merged with the two rows over there. Do you remember? I hope you have that table with you, isn't it? So for that you need to use the row span with the value 2 there, right? So follow to that, you have the average content over there. Just a minute. Okay, is this visible? Both the table and the program is visible here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you can see here the first cell for this here is, it is empty over here, and so you don't have the any content here. But instead what has been done, you can see here it is merged for the next of the two cells, that is in terms of the rows, the two rows has been merged. If you draw it, and if you draw and analyze it, what has been merged here, you'll get to know that two cells of the rows has been merged, for which th row span is equal to 2 has been taken here. Okay, so follow to that, to the first row you have this content only. If you are in the first row, the next content over here is average. But one more thing you can see here, this average content also has been merged with the two cells, but with respect to the columns here, right? So you can see here to this average, again th column span is equal to 2 has been taken here to merge these two cells here. right? So follow to that, again in the first row itself you have the one more value, that is red eyes. But one more thing you can visualize here, this cell again has been merged here, but with respect to the rows, not the columns, right? So for which the row span attribute has been used with the value again 2. So how many cells you want to merge, that should be the value for that respective attribute here, either the row span or the column span, correct? So once you have included all these contents, close that tr. So to the next tr here, so to the next tr, what you should add here, so the next tr you have only these two values. So open the tr, you need not have to again take in, you need not have to take anything like row span or the column span once again. So whatever the spanning has been done, it has been done while creating the first row itself. So here in this case, you are supposed to just include only the elements which will be automatically added the way it has been structured here in this image, right? So include height and weight in the th since they are the headings, right? So close that tr, right? So once you close this tr, so it is end with this entire first section here, along with the spanning that has been done with the either the row or the column spanning here, right? So the first section has been completely done here, correct? So the next tr, open it. So from here you can see this first element over here is once again the heading. So take that with the th, followed by the rest of the content are the normal text, include them with the respective tds and close the tr. And similarly for the further elements, make once again this females as a heading with the th, and rest of the contents with the tds and close that tr, and finally close that table. Okay, so this entire thing is going to give you this tabular structure here. So is everyone clear with the row span and the column span attributes? Because these, using these two attributes is very easy once you analyze the table. Once you are comfortable with the table, how it has to be created and where you need to merge and which attribute needs to be used, whether the row span or the column span. Do remember, if you are going to merge with respect to the rows, go for using the row span to the cell where you want to merge it for the first only. So here in this case, the merging needs to be done with the first cell itself. If you do it for the second cell, it will go for doing the merging with the its next row cell here. So make sure that you use it with the proper cell, with the proper attribute, that is either the row span or the column span. Am I clear here?
Yes, ma'am.
Is everyone clear with the row span and the column span? Again, I'm telling you, which is a very important point of the concept with respect to the table structure. Is everyone clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
What I want you people to do now here is, I will give you the two tables for which you need to write the program and which you have to demonstrate that program in the next class. Okay. All of you draw this table, and by next class you should get ready with the program which has to give this tabular structure as a result. Once you run that html page, you should be with this table. Okay, so note down this table, draw this table in your book, for which you need to write a program in order to get this table as a result of the html. Completed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So further things will continue in the next class. So before I begin the next class, I want everyone to be ready with this program. So no matter whether you get the correct result or not, so at least you should try. And whatever you have tried, you have to demonstrate it to whomever I tell them. Okay, so though to whomever I am going to tell, everyone needs to be ready at least with the partial result or the incorrect result or the correct result. Okay. So do not leave the meeting